Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of B2Tech Bridge. Today we're going to talk about the most outrageous sales pitches of Office 365 and definitely try to avoid them. So, this is our subject. You should go to Office 365 because you've watched a lot of videos. Well, just because your competitor did go for Office 365 and you hear the buzz, it doesn't mean that you should go ahead and just jump on that bandwagon. As a matter of fact, you should probably do your homework, identify return on investment, and spread it across and see if you're actually getting some benefit out of the platform. Now, most of us know in technology that there's definitely a good reason to actually evaluate the platform, but here's the thing. You want to make sure it's the right fit for you and the right solution and platform. And 9 out of 10, you will identify that yes, in fact, it is going to work. So when you're sitting across the CFO and they're asking you where's your ROI, you can actually justify why you should go with the platform. Number 2, your data is secure because Microsoft is a big company and because they meet a lot of requirements from a compliance standpoint. Wrong. Your data is only as safe as the processes that you actually put in place. Now, Microsoft does protect the data against hackers coming into their data centers, hardware, software, all of that. But the reality is, you as the IT administrator and the IT executive, you have to ensure you implement certain securities that will ensure your users are actually not leaking the data out or are not letting their computers unattended, which then somebody can steal their information. So make sure you do have a plan. Just because it's Microsoft, it does not mean that your data is in fact protected. Number 3, you just saved yourself a ton of money because you're actually paying for a subscription model instead of the upfront costs. Wrong again. The reality is you do have to analyze the total cost of ownership of the platform over multiple years. Whether it's 3 years or 5 years, you really have to evaluate and see where everything stands in terms of costs. Are you saving money? Are you saving money on backups? Are you saving money on hardware? Are you saving money on licenses for desktop and operating systems? All of those things need to come down, including maintenance. You have to take in consideration the IT folks that are actually supporting the on-premise systems. So factor in those costs and really make it a point to actually show the cost savings. Just because it's going to be converted into a monthly subscription does not make it's going to be cheaper. Going to the cloud translates to zero infrastructure requirements. Wrong again. The reality is you're going to the cloud. Great. But here's the deal. You do have to increase your bandwidth now that you're going to the cloud. How are the users supposed to actually download that information or upload it if they're dealing with emails or SharePoint? So you want to make sure that the actual performance and the end user experience is optimal. And there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to need to evaluate and assess, including your workstations. If you're going to roll out Office 2016 Pro Plus, hey, are the workstation up to par? Do they have enough memory? All of these things actually do have to come in consideration whenever you're looking at Office 365, just because, again, you're moving your Exchange, SharePoint, Skype for Business Online, does not mean that you have zero requirements in terms of infrastructure investments. Number 5, go ahead and turn all the features on for Office 365 because you pay for it, and then your users should get them for free. Again, problem there. You can turn on all the functionality and everything, but guess what? You're going to have a mediocre rollout since nobody's going to know what to do with all those applications. You have to consider you have Sway, Planner, Skype for Business, OneDrive for Business, SharePoint Online, of course Exchange Online with DLP and everything. Well, here's the deal. How are all your users are supposed to get training and know enough about the products that they just now have in their hands without actually you phasing them in and educating them on how to use them and leverage them? You want to improve productivity and efficiency? What a great way to do it, by slowly rolling out the platform at different stages to ensure that it actually sticks and not just roll out something and say, run with it, it's all yours. Number 6, migration costs are high, so why don't we just migrate the emails and everything ourselves? Here's the reality. Yes, you may be paying extra to get somebody to help you with your migration costs, but here's the thing, you definitely want to take advantage of the lessons learned during the migrations, all the pre-configurations that have to be done, and all the planning that most third-party vendors are actually have experience with. But if it all fails and you say there's absolutely no dollars in the budget for migration costs, reach out to your Microsoft folks because There's definitely opportunities out there to leverage some funding when available to be able to get some assistance around Office 365 migration and everything. Just make sure you talk to your Microsoft rep around that. Number 7, Office 365 is easy, so just sign up and go. Well, here's the thing. You need to do some planning. Just because you can sign up and do a few clicks, put a credit card, or get on the EA and add your users to the list does not make it where you're ready to go. A lot of things have to happen within your Active Directory and also planning on training and migration stages. So if you are considering turning on Office 365, have a game plan put together. Have a project manager, or even if you're a small IT shop, try to make sure that you have the templates and leverage what's already out there in terms of resources to make sure the project is actually a success. And you're not running around trying to figure out what you did wrong because you misplanned for it. Number 8, you should go on vacation now that Office 365 has been rolled out, because Skype for Business, SharePoint Online, and Exchange are all out there. You're not going on vacation anytime soon. The reality is there's a lot more components to Office 365 than those 3 common ones you hear about. Actually, there's still folks that think Office 365 is just plain email, when in reality, you have email, Skype for Business, SharePoint Online, OneDrive. I mean, there's a ton. Planner, Sway. There's actually even more things in E5 now that you have to take in consideration. Advanced threat management and things like that. So slow it down and figure out what items you need to roll out and see which ones are a good fit before you take your next vacation. Number 9, the cloud is here, so now you can sleep better at night because your data is protected and backed up. Not really. Keep in mind, Microsoft does protect your data in a sense that it will give you high availability, resiliency. If one data center goes out, the other one picks up. Great. But here's the thing. What happens if somebody deletes an email? Yes, they can recover it from deleted items. What happens if somebody deletes an entire folder or mailbox? Guess what? You only have 30 days to restore it. Otherwise, it's poof, gone. A lot of things also relate to things around SharePoint as well and OneDrive. So what you want to make sure is you identify what is your backup and disaster recovery plan to recover data. Do you want to have a third party assist you with backing up Office 365? Or do you want to just rely on the fact that your data may be accessible within 30 days and after that you really don't care for it if it's past the 30-day mark? So that's really key to identifying what is your backup and disaster recovery plan. Number 10, you make your money back right away because you don't have to maintain servers, hardware, and everything, and now you get some money back in your pockets. It's not about actually cutting costs when it comes to Office 365 or trying to cut corners around hardware and maintenance and everything, or even vendors that support your systems that you're trying to cut out of the picture by going to Office 365. The reality is, how can you increase productivity and efficiency so you can make your company more money? There's plenty of opportunities within Office 365 for the end users to actually really get some serious benefits from it. So instead of actually focusing on cutting costs left and right, identify the areas that you can actually increase revenue or efficiencies and have some gains instead of just looking for cost cutting. And again, with that, we finished the top 10 outrageous sales pitches that you may hear from the next sales rep that talks to you about Office 365. Not all of them are bad, but be on the lookout for the ones that are actually using some of these techniques, because at the end of the day, you want to make the right decisions when you're considering Office 365. Thanks.